Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today is April 9th, 2019, the date that marks the end of support deadline for Windows Embedded POSReady 2009. Long name, I know. While some of you out there probably know exactly what I'm talking about, I'm sure that there are a few of you that don't. And in today's video, I wanted to discuss a little history about this specialized version of Windows and why its end of support deadline could be a big deal for you. Let me take you back 5 years ago to April of 2014. For some of you, myself included, this might have been the first time that you heard about POSReady. It was around this time that Microsoft officially killed off support for Windows XP. Many news outlets published articles and videos about Windows XP's end of support and explained why it was that people should even care. When Microsoft kills off support for a Windows release, they stop pushing out important security updates and software patches through Windows Update, which are necessary to keep computers secure from viruses and malware. To put it briefly, machines running XP instantly became more vulnerable to infection. Microsoft recommended that anyone who was still using XP should upgrade to Windows 8.1, the latest Windows release at that time. But this was easier said than done. Windows XP had a whopping 30% of Windows computer market share at that time, despite the fact that it was over 12 years old. This was more market share than Windows Vista, Windows 8, and Windows 8.1 combined. XP was second only to Windows 7 in market share, which held about 50%, which is still only 20% more than XP. Needless to say, XP users had to upgrade their machines, and fast. So what did this entail for home users? Well, let me give you the best case scenario first. Microsoft recommended that consumers go out and purchase Windows 8.1, which was an OS released 12 years after XP. While there were some similarities between the two, major UI elements like the start menu were completely replaced with the start screen, which did require a bit of a learning curve if you have never seen or used it before. On top of that, an 8.1 license cost about $100 and took about an hour or two to install. Now, if you had bought your computer brand new in 2001 with XP and never updated, it's very likely that your machine didn't support 8.1. So on top of what was previously mentioned, you would have to either buy some new hardware upgrades for your computer or purchase a brand new PC outright. Because of this, some people chose not to take Microsoft's recommendation and opted to upgrade to Windows 7 instead. Windows 7 had not much of a learning curve, as most of the UI elements were very similar. But that's the consumer side of things. What about businesses? To put it simply, businesses had a much harder time upgrading Windows XP. If a business had a fleet of office computers, it required more time and money to upgrade them. In addition to that, the business might depend on the use of proprietary software that might only support XP and would require even more time and money to upgrade. Now, I should mention that it's not like Microsoft threw this end of support news at businesses overnight. This information was available on Microsoft's website for years, so businesses who started their upgrade path early on were usually fine. But for those who didn't, and for consumers that just didn't want to stop using XP, this is where Windows Embedded POSReady 2009 comes into play. POSReady 2009 was a specialized operating system designed for point-of-sales machines, released by Microsoft in 2009. This OS was not available to the average user, and was only made available to certain businesses. However, its existence became more widely known by consumers in 2014. This was because the POSReady 2009 was based on Windows XP. Because of its release timing, Microsoft offered support for the OS until April of 2019. This essentially gave XP users an extra 5 years of support if they were able to acquire a license to POSReady. Microsoft still pushed out the regular security patches and updates to users of the OS until today. But as some users quickly discovered, you didn't necessarily have to be running POSReady to take advantage of the extra updates. By adding a simple registry key to your system running regular XP, you could actually trick Windows Update into thinking that your system was running POSReady, and it would allow you to download the extra security patches. It was an extremely simple process. In fact, I released a tutorial video in 2014 showing people how to do it. But this was not an official way to increase the lifespan of XP. There wasn't one. Microsoft even went as far to send me a tweet to inform me and viewers of my video that these updates were not designed for regular XP, even though they were released for a system that was based on XP. So that's how POSReady 2009 became more significant. It is the last version of Windows based on XP to receive support from Microsoft. Its support finally ends today. So if you're still hanging on to XP after 18 years, now is the time to upgrade. While you could still keep using POSReady, it is not recommended, as you'll no longer receive official patches or updates from Microsoft. Anyways, that's all that I have for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed this one, and if you did, be sure to give it a like and get subscribed. Also be sure to drop me a comment down below if you have any thoughts, questions, or even stories about your time using POSReady. I always enjoy reading what you guys have to say, and as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.